Good afternoon. It's January 6th, 2023, and here's what we're looking at for today. An uptrend day with the measured move of the overnight highs and lows almost to the tick, probably to the tick if I drew it more exactly. So that's just some stuff that happens all the time. Market geometry, as Max says, happens all the time. These measured moves. So let's take a look at the trades. Unfortunately, for how clear the bias was, I didn't see a lot of trades. I mean, there's got to be something in here that I missed, but this whole move up, I don't think you could have taken anything, and that's just the way it is sometimes. So, 5 o'clock, I think was somewhere in here. Yeah. So nothing in here. This is too congested, and we had the news item coming out at 5:30 anyway. So you just want to be flat, and it rockets up and corrects, and then we get this strong move up, and you had a feeling that when it was making this strong move up that we were just gonna make a new high from this. um, so I mean, there's right here, this is this is actually a failure. I mean, you could chance it here, but because that is a failure, but it doesn't touch the EMA, and you wouldn't have had that trend line. You could have had that trend line actually, so it just wouldn't look like that. You'd probably have it drawn like that, but that's pretty darn close anyway. Um, but to me, I was watching this live. I actually saw that. Now that I'm thinking about it, I was waiting uh, for an entry, but this just it looked like you were going into resistance. So we have this triple bottom. That's what it was. We had this triple bottom, so I figured count resets. I couldn't pull the trigger on this. This is a new low. First entry failed. Second entry, I didn't. It looks like you're going into resistance. But if you look at this as a triple bottom, then this failure looks good, but it doesn't touch the EMA. But anyway, let me stop rambling. We get this move up. We get a break, and you get a first entry, second entry. Unfortunately, this bar didn't make a new low. However, with all that room to this high, I thought we would at least test these highs at these bars, and that's exactly where we found resistance. Um, so you have a break of this channel, no new high in place yet. So prices are going to attempt to go there with a bullish bar like that. It's a second entry, and it confirms this channel. So, but I think I was giving that a little too much weight when you think about how we didn't come to these highs, and we couldn't even make it to the midline. So that's something I probably should have considered in real time. Anyway, we get this move down, get a break, and you get another move to a new low. The second entry doesn't set up, unfortunately. But then you get this first second entry, and that's a very clear. This one just looks good. I think you have to go based off feel here, because we have a break of this channel and a move to a new low already. So you might be a little sketched out, but first of all, it's a failed second entry long, and second of all, it's a second entry short, and we didn't go above the EMA in any of these swings. So I think you have to take that one. Confirmation of this trend channel. Can't make it to the lows. We rock it out, and they make one more attempt to make a new high, and it fails. You get a second entry short down here, but it's not off a trend channel, and it's too far away from the EMA. And we get a break, and we get two legs down to a new low before we start to reverse. And yeah, there's just nothing in here. I just don't think you would be able to confidently draw this trend channel right here, this short-term channel. Maybe you could. But that's a failure. It doesn't touch the EMA, so it's just not a great setup. This is just a first entry. It's not a triple test or double test. Here you get a second entry, but it's doesn't set up well. So, and then we make this. I don't think you can go short on that because we haven't had a break of this channel. But you can see the short-term channel, that move up, close outside, we don't get a move to a new high. Unless that's a close outside and move to a new high, all in the same bar, I think you'd have to be watching that live to see that. In which case, maybe you take this lower high back to the EMA, but I don't think you can take that. That leads to a break. We get some sideways stuff, and you don't get a failure to test, or you don't get a second entry. The second entry to test the highs is all the way down here below the EMA. I don't think you can take that. And this is just some sideways stuff. I think this is like a second entry, but I don't think you can take that. Even though the bias is up and we're making higher closes, you're just going into a lot of resistance. And the overnight, and the overnight highs. So once it bounces off the overnight highs, we have this pink range, and you get a failed second entry long, super bearish bar. That looks pretty good, but you can see, I mean, there was some buying coming in, but the sellers were too strong at the moment. Then we come back, we test the opening price and the lows of this range, and then we just take off. You get a break, move to a new high, and then you get a first entry, second entry. I marked this green because we already have a break of this channel and a move to a new high, and it looked like we might be having a range day at this point. Unless there's some type of channel I'm missing, but I don't think so. And I mean, first of all, your signal bar is a doji, followed by or preceded by two dojis. This just doesn't look good. And we're moving up here. Yeah, I don't see a way to get in on this. I mean, this looks like a failure, but the failure right here was an outside bar, so those people got trapped. This is a failure, but at that point the bias is up. It looks pretty good, but we're also waiting on a new high for this channel. So yeah, you don't want to take that. However, look at that. It's perfect price action. We get the break of this channel and two legs down to a new low. Two legs of correction, two legs down to a new low, and then it pushes higher again. Don't go short yet here. It looks like a good second entry short, but it's just the bias is up now. Breakout with trend. It fails. You get this double top. So this was actually some sort of measured move. Was it to here? Maybe? Is that? No. Oh, okay. Yeah, right here. Maybe not. Thought I had a measured move where this double top corresponded to. I don't even remember where I was now. Up here. I thought I had that. Perhaps I didn't. Is this a measured move? That's close to a measured move. So, I mean, if you saw this measured move that I'm talking about, and you get this double top, huge bearish bar that far from the EMA, you might consider that. But anyway, you get this first entry, second entry, but with that matching high, I'm not convinced. And these are all inside bars. 1, 2, 3 bars inside this one. This turns out to be a trend down. First entry. This is actually a failure. You can see none of these bars ticked lower, so that's where the failure occurs, and it is off that trend channel. But I don't like how the whole body is down here. Something about that just scares me away. Plus, these are all inside bars. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Not a great setup. And then we start going higher again, and you get this. You get a break and a new low, and you get a reversal. So I have to at least mark that. I mean, oops. And I mean, it's probably a blue trade. It's just a little advanced for me. This looks like congestion too. And you're going, yeah, it's I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's green. Yeah, it's probably green because of that congestion. We get this move up, break, and you get a second entry, and the signal bar is no good, unfortunately. Because that's the only chance we had of getting in here. Maybe if you see this, actually, yeah, I think if you see this trend channel and you had it drawn, this is a two-legged pullback to the EMA. But even still, it's dojis. All these dojis, you're going into the highs. Yeah, that's just not a great idea. And there's just nothing in here. Very unfortunate. We get a break. Right at that measure move, you can see that, boom. And then some people came in and sold. Some of the buyers were still trying to buy, though. And I don't think you can get in on any of this. Yeah, so that's how I saw it today. It is Friday, so I hope everyone has a great weekend. And I'll be back on Monday.